All right, let's talk about selling. Because right now, I'm pumped. I've got the blood flowing. I've got the endorphins going. Had a heavy weight training session, intense. Gave it everything I had. Left it all on the floor. So the norepinephrine, that's pumping right now. So while the brain is clicking, I want to get some thoughts out there. I've been pondering that whole concept of sell the sizzle, and also the art of storytelling. Does your product or service or solution sizzle? Is it on fire? For many, it's no. For some, it's yeah. But you know what? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your product, service, or solution on its own, even without your help, is hot to trot. What really matters is that there's a interesting, fired up and passionate story behind it. I mean, even if you take the hottest product or the hottest products and services in the world, Apple, the iPhone, just as one example. I mean, you don't really need much help to sell an iPhone. When a new one comes out, they go like hotcakes. But why is Apple so attractive? Why is the product so sexy? And that's because a lot of us attach an enthusiasm, or a lot of us find interest, a lot of us are engaged by the entire Apple background, the Jobs and Wozniak story, the entire founding success, and with each new product, why it was created, what its history and heritage is. We find it interesting. We find it exciting. And even if Jobs is gone now, we still remember him standing there on stage talking about his life, his company, his products and services, how they came about, his personal interests, his research, his passion. So it's not some commercial. And we talk about the art of the story. Well, are you pitching your product? Are you selling your service? Or are you, when you're talking with a customer, are you speaking from the heart? Are you speaking from a passionate place inside you, which is narrating and engaging the customer in a give and take story about the history of the market in which the both of you operate, in the current state of the industry in which you move and shake? When I speak with customers, what I find really interesting is that we get a chance to talk about, number one, what's going on with them. What makes them so interesting? What makes their products and services a solution so exciting? What are they passionate about? And then I love to talk about all of the new insights and intrigue and issues and challenges that are taking place in that sector where we do business. And I love bringing new intelligence to the dialogue, to the conversation. And then, of course, what is it that is so interesting? How do we connect on a visceral level with respect to how my solution may be able to plug in with both the state of the industry and the issues and challenges and needs that the customer faces, that my customer faces. And when I talk, I speak from a place of love and curiosity and fire, because I've ensured that I've taken the time to really understand the story behind what it is I do. Again, we're not talking about a pitch. And by the way, this isn't really a difficult thing to do. Well, how do I create a story? You don't create a story, there is a story. You just have to spend some time to uncover it and understand it and get interested in it and communicate that in your conversations with customers. But when you think of a pitch versus a story, and well, when I think of a pitch, I think of a script, and I have a static printed out page where I'm just banging off features and benefits. Let's get something straight. Just because you write notes down on a piece of paper doesn't make it a pitch. Actors use a script, but they're still telling a story. So if that helps you, great. Speeches are given off the notes of the speaker's research and topics and areas that they want to discuss. Doesn't mean it's not a story. Doesn't mean it's a pitch. The president uses a teleprompter most of the time, and he's reading a speech. It doesn't mean he's pitching you, right? So just because you put your thoughts on paper and have it by the ready so that you don't forget what you want to talk about, doesn't mean you're using a pitch. So let's get that straight. So if you, as a beginner salesperson, or someone who's trying to move away from pitching a service or a product, and you want to start getting into this really creative and wonderfully exciting conversation that takes place when you do discuss history and your story, right? Then don't fret about having to take notes and have them close by so that you remember what it is that needs to be talked about. There's nothing wrong with that. But to really be successful in communications, to really make it big when customer facing, to really climb to the highest peaks of sales, you've got to, at some point you have to move those notes aside. At some point you have to speak from your heart. You've got to talk from that place within your gut that believes, that knows that what you've got to talk about is truly exciting and interesting and engaging and compelling. How do you do that? It takes a lot of time and research on your part to get to the place where you can, but you got to do it. Because I tell you what, the old days of getting on a soapbox and just babbling about the advantages of your wonderful product and service are gone. Customers aren't interested. Stories last throughout time. They run the ages. Fables, the Bible, the history of generations gone by, passed from family to family to family. Myths. These are the things that live on for millennia. We talk about them still today. And many of the things we talk about today that have been passed down mouth to mouth through millennia are true. Some of it is not, but the reality is the reason we remember it, the reason it's so engaging, and the reason it's lasted millennia is because we loved the drama, we loved the intrigue, we loved the story. So there's a story to what it is you do. There is something deep within inside you that you have to tap into in order to speak from that place in your soul where you truly love and want to help and want to work with the customer, the client, the prospect, or even the people that you're engaging with, whoever they may be. And if you've got something to sell, and if you know it's great, then even if you were just to put the notes aside, just go for it. speak from the heart, speak free streaming, free flow of consciousness, and just put it out there. Yeah, and you'll forget things, you'll make mistakes, you'll stumble, but eventually you will hone a history and a story about what it is you do, about what it is that's so exciting about the marketplace in which you operate, and certainly to be able to engage the customer in understanding their exciting background and history and future. All of that mixed together is so powerful and so wonderful and so enthusiastic. I find it exciting every day. So, come on, get excited. The world ahead of us has so many things going on. There's so much to talk about, so much to move us, so much to get inspired about, and whatever it is you're selling, whatever it is that you represent, I'll tell you what, it's unique. There's something going on about it that you can talk about and that you can engage with. Go find out what that is and just rev it up and have a great time. And I'll tell you what, you're going to do so much business. Your customers are going to be happy. It's going to be a win-win-win, a triple win, right? A win for the customer, a win for you, and a win for the world in which you operate. So that's it. Go get them.